Sitting in the deep south of Nigeria is a beautiful treasure known as the Niger Delta. Whenever food conversations are made about Nigeria, the Niger Delta always come up in such conversations. And in the Niger Delta is a beautiful place known as Akwa Ibom, arguably the state with Nigeria's best kept culinary secret. In this documentary, we will be exploring some of the best kept food secrets in Akwa Ibom. We will be learning about Asaiwa and Nsana. Joining me today is a young Akwa Ibom chef, Martha Samson of Food Runs Niger, as we explore Asaiwa together. But first, let's go to Afara markets. Good to see you. And
Good to see you too.
And thank you for doing this with me.
Okay, the ingredients we are going to get at the market now would be periwinkle, the regular pepper, seasoning cube, onion. We need nkukwo, palm oil.
Of course, the style of the dish, the cassava.
Very, very important. Buy me some 1,000. Buy me some me. Nyeme dasi nye. Mfuna gesero. Tenyem. Yemsi ya no.
After purchasing the cassava, we proceeded to buy some proteins. Martha suggested that we should buy goat head because goat head brings a lot of flavor to this dish. This food has to be balanced. After buying the goat head, she also suggested that we should get this local fish called a pie. I love a pie. Then we had to get the very important ingredient, fresh cocoyam leaf that is used to wrap the grated cassava.
Okay, okay.
We arrived home from the market and it was time to start this cook. I can tell you that this was an amazing experience. She started like a modern day chef by using peeler to peel the cassava, but she had to move to the more traditional way of using knife, which actually made me very happy. Considering how tasking this is, I was curious to know if this food can be considered an everyday food.
For me, this cannot be considered as an everyday food. This is meals that are prepared on special occasions, like traditional marriages, especially when a stranger is coming to marry a wife in Akwa Ibom, so that our in-laws will know the kind of wife they are coming to marry and the kind of meals we have in Akwa Ibom. So for me, this is stressful and cannot be eaten every day.
Despite being very stressful to prepare, this food is a sign of love. When you visit an Akwa Ibom person and they prepare this meal for you, it means they love you. It means you are welcomed, and that is why they will go through the trouble of preparing this meal for you. So this food is love in a plate. It is a way an Akwa Ibom person tells you, I love you. I mean, we can communicate love through food, right? I asked Martha to show me how to wrap the Asaiwa, and she showed me how I can wrap it perfectly.
You take this, and then you turn the inner part. Then you take a bit of this. You don't have to wrap it too big. Okay. You can chew it. You know it's going to be like as long. Yeah. And then you wrap.
Ooh. I love this.
See that?
Yeah. These are the kind of delicacies you enjoy only in the Niger Delta. Let me try. In the Niger Delta, young people are encouraged to be self-sufficient, not to wait for government to provide them a job. And you've done amazing for yourself by choosing, the food part. So what inspired you to become a chef?
So as a child, I used to love cooking. Fun fact, my mom has been selling for over 20 years. And I remember how I used to go help her at the shop, help her every time to sell food. And I think my passion grew from that point. More so, this meal is nostalgia for me because it reminds me of my time with my grandmother. This was a leisure meal she used to prepare like almost every time for us. So you would eat it with your hands while playing. You have plenty of periwinkle to just, play around with. We don't necessarily need this last part. This is optional. You might choose to add any veggies of your choice, vegetable of your choice, leaf of your choice. And you might choose not to. It's totally optional.
And our acai is ready. I can't wait to dig in.
I can't wait for you to
Take your
test
spoon.
this. What are you doing with spoons?
I'm not supposed to use spoon.
You're not supposed to use spoons, okay? We are supposed to use our hands.
We have
Yes,
to.
to have the traditional feel of this meal. I will give you
Woo!
this instead.
Thank you very much. Woo. So earlier we talked about the fact that this food is actually very nutritious. So can you walk us through how nutritious the food is?
This is rich in minerals, fat and oil, you know. It's rich in carbohydrates, rich in proteins. I mean, the goat's meat and the fish, proteins, the periwinkle, minerals, you know. Yeah, it's just a total balanced diet. You don't.
I love it.
That's why our forefathers used to eat this.
Because it
So
gives
they'll
them
be-
energy
you know, it
to
gives them
farm
energy
and
to
go
farm
for
and-
fishing and all of them.
Oh, I just want to eat the food, Jerry.
I love it. This is why you need to come to Niger Delta. Discover Niger Delta, the rich delicacies in Niger Delta.
Sure, you need.
This is very amazing. This is very Asaiwa. Imagine this kind of delicacy that we are not continuing this tradition of our foreparents. It would be a shame. That is why every Niger Delta youth need to ensure that we are keeping up with the traditions of our foreparents, especially in preserving our culture and our foods. Because these traditions, this culture, these foods cannot die in our own time. Unfortunately, this portion of Asaiwa died in our hands because we enjoyed every bit of it. Now, I am on my way to Ikotekpene. Ikotekpene is a 30 minutes drive from Uyo, and I am heading to see my friend Enyen Okpone Sien. Enyen Okpone is a 21st century Niger Delta lady. She is into tech and she works from home. I gave her a call that I am on my way to see her, but she doesn't know that I am coming with ingredients for her local delicacy called Nsana soup. I will be showing up at her door with the ingredients for her to cook for us, and I would love to see the reaction on her face when I present these ingredients for the Nsana soup. Yes, let's cook some Nsana. I know what you're going to do. Me, I trust you. I'm giving your capacity. So this is the Nsana.
Yeah, correct.
This is Mbafere.
Correct.
Okay, this is Iyak, or it's probably known as Panlado.
You did not see now?
No, I did not see now. I'm only the Norwich, don't tell anybody. So this is melon.
Okay.
Stockfish.
Correct.
This is a thickener, it's called Ibaba.
Got empty.
Oh, I didn't have anything. Forgive me. I got some pepe, I've got some fufu, and I've got some goat meat.
Goat meat. I'm
They said I should have bought
fish.
fish. So the person I asked did not tell me fish. So I bought what I was told.
Well, next time,
But we can make do with what we have, right?
next time we need periwinkle. Go
Okay.
to Sosion Fee and pick up.
Okay.
Seriously.
All right, no
All
problem.
right. This is actually very thoughtful of you because this delicacy is something very special and dear to me. There is no party in Ini without Nsana. It's not complete. Like this is the king of soups in Ini. When you mention Ini, you know of Nsana.
Nsana is a very rare food in Akwa Ibom, but it is very popular amongst the people of Ikono and in the local government areas that rice is cultivated in commercial quantities. It is important to note that both Nsana and rice grow under the same conditions. Little wonder why Nsana and rice are available in these areas in abundance. Watching her cook with so much grace and smiles, I could tell that this food meant something special to her. So I asked her what childhood memory this food brings to her, and this is what she had to say.
I grew up with my dad, and this soup is actually one of my dad's base meal. So going to the farm to get the Nsana, coming back home, preparing with him is actually a very sweet memory I have from my childhood. And then growing up, actually used to eat the food with pounded yam.
Wow.
So now I have to come and start pounding the yam. By this time, the yam is already boiling
in the
and
fire.
like you're already ready to pound it while the soup is also cooking on the side. So cooking this soup now just brings back that memory of me cooking this soup with my dad, and just my dad showing me how to cook it. So it's actually a very tough grass, so I'm actually going to allow it to boil alongside with the meat water.
So this is when you put the
this is when I put it in nsana, because it has to boil along.
So the nsana has to boil, and she's about to introduce the nsana into this dish, and nsana is the star of the dish. There is a general belief that our foreparents ate way more balanced diet than we do now. We live in a world where we eat a lot of processed foods, and I believe that our foreparents ate way more nutritional dishes than we eat now. So I asked her what the nutritional benefit of this food is.
The nsana has a lot of vitamins. You have a healthy dose of protein.
And even the melon and the palm oil.
And then the periwinkle that you didn't bring is also another source of protein. And then we're also still going to put the mkpafere, that is also green leafy vegetable. So it's actually really nutritious.
So when you are cooking yours, please ensure that you put some periwinkle. I mean, we are talking the Niger Delta story now. We love things from the river. My bad. Forgive me. Forgive me. Wow! No. Let me remove my cap. Nsana! Finally! If I know from Niger Delta, if I pay me if I know from Niger Delta.
So actually it can be cooked with different things, but the major thing is just the nsana.
Okay.
So, but this recipe is just the way my dad likes it.
Okay.
So my dad likes it lightly like this, with a little melon.
Okay.
Sometimes he may not even put the baba, but he will just use melon and make it very light. But originally, you can either cook it with melon lightly, or you cook it with the baba. Some people still like to mix the two together. Okay. So I've not really done anything new to it. So just combination of both ways. Growing up, my younger sister, when she was first introduced to the soup, she used to call this nsana small fish. So she would say, "Give me the small fish, give me the small fish, give me the small fish."
Because I have it.
Yeah, so I'm actually really looking forward to giving it to my children and letting them know that their mother also loves this. So they have to like it. In fact, they must eat it. They will learn how to cook it. In fact, not just learning how to cook it, they will learn how to, harvest it from the farm, how to process it, and how to also cook it. So yes, they will. And I know they will love it.
Having explored these local delicacies in Akwa Ibom, it made me realize and appreciate how deep and rooted our culture and food is in the Niger Delta. This is just one state. Imagine if I went to Bayelsa, Cross River, Edo, Delta, Abia, Imo, Rivers, and Ondo states. Every state would have its unique local delicacy for us to document. It tells one story, that we in the Niger Delta are a people deeply rooted in our culture. We are a people deeply rooted in our foods. And we are a people who have an identity. And also, we are very proud of our identity. And I urge young people in the Niger Delta to tell their stories through different endeavors. It must not necessarily be food, but we must tell our story as Niger Deltans, because nobody can tell our story better than us. My name is Morgan, and this is my Niger Delta story.